Hey everyone, welcome back to the Becoming TV series, where we explore the deep truths and the principles that will enable you become everything you were created to be, to do, and to have. This is William Awana. So, we have been talking about the qualities, the attributes, and the characteristics that enable great achievers and that lead to great success, right? We've talked about things like clarity, like competency, or competence. We've talked about direction. We've talked about vision. We've talked about decisiveness. We've talked about a plethora of things, that are really required, that are really important for us to achieve success. And the last one we talked about was consistency, embracing the power of accumulation, right? And I started that particular episode with a quote from Denzel Washington: "Without commitment, you'll never start, but without consistency, you'll never finish." And let's take the first thing he said: without commitment, right? Which is what this particular episode is all about. Without commitment, you'll never start. So, um, even before we get to the point of embracing consistency in order to maintain, right, the path that we're on and to finish strong, without embracing the power of commitment, we won't even start, right? And perhaps we should have started with this, right? But commitment is actually the first thing that you need, right? Before you embark on the journey, you have to be committed. So, what is commitment? Because it's a word that we tend to bandy around quite a bit. You hear it in things like in organizations, you hear it in relationships. I want to be committed. We need to be committed to each other. You need to be committed to the business, etc. But what is it really? If we were to really break it down, um, and examine it in a way that we can apply it personally, what would we describe commitment as? Well, to start with, another word for commitment is this one: dedication. Dedication, and I think that's a really powerful adjective. That also sort of shines the light on what commitment is all about. Dedication. It means that you're taking a decision to come to, I don't want to use the word commit, but to really embrace a concept or an ideal or a person or a thing, right? You're going to sacrifice time and effort, right, to be with that person or to do that thing. You're going to pour out your essence or your soul, right, just to connect with that thing. That is the power of commitment, right? And um further thinking through that particular word, brings to my recollection something that, well, may at first may not be appear to be related, but I remember reading something about the Beatles. For those of you who recall that particular famous rock group, the Beatles, possibly the most famous rock group of all time. Their drummer, a guy called Ringo Starr, said something that struck me and has sort of remained with me, for quite a while. He said that anytime they were in the studio, right, recording their music, etc., that they always gave 110%, right, 110% into their work, and that is what made them such a great group or such a great band. And that sentence, or that what he said, really stuck with me. They gave 110%. And if you look at the if you're a music fan, or especially of classic rock, and you listen to their music and you listen to you sample some of the music that was around that time or that era, in the 60s, etc., you would acknowledge that the Beatles were heads and shoulders above practically every other rock group at that time. And what Ringo said, about them putting 100%, speaks to the power of commitment, right? It's that you're going to shut out a lot of things and dedicate yourself to this thing, dedicate yourself to this person, dedicate yourself to this goal. Whatever it is that you commit to requires that you pour yourself out into it, right? And this is so true of success. If you really desire to be successful, you need to commit yourself to doing the things that would lead you to success. You need to commit yourself. It is a decision that you need to make, because there are going to be distractions. There are going to be other things that will come your way. There are going to be people who want you to do stuff with them, but you have to determine within yourself, right? And say, I have committed to this. Commitment means that there are some things you have to say no to. Commitment means that you have to um, you have to sacrifice a lot of things. It might be comfort, it might be food, it might be some of the things that make you comfortable, but you have to give those things up for the duration that you need to, in order to dedicate yourself to this thing. Commitment is a powerful tool, um, that really escalates the person who embraces it, especially one who desires to be successful in life. So embrace the power of commitment and you'll soar.